Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is Anuta, the Crochet World, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please subscribe to my channel, like, share and comment on my videos. And today we're going to do this beautiful pattern for a small pouch or a small wallet. You can put anything in it. It opens up like this, and here it is. You can put your any small item, you can put your this AirPods in, you can put your change in, and it simply closes up like this, and it's nice, cute, a little pouch. Here it is. Now for this one, I've used my 100% cotton yarn, and for this project, I've used my 3 mm of the hook. So let's begin. Okay, so for this one, we're going to need a yarn, and we will start with the magic circle here. So for the magic circle, just put your yarn around your fingers like this, and we're going to put over the second string of yarn at the back. Have your this hook and insert your hook like this, and grab your yarn and turn your hook, and here it is. This is your magic circle. Now here I'm going to have chain one. Now this chain one is not a stitch. I'm not going to count this as a stitch. This chain one is only to secure my this magic circle. Now here for our first round number 1, we're going to have 6 single crochets into this magic circle. So just insert your hook into this magic circle and grab your yarn and have 1 single crochet, 2 single crochet, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Here it is. We got over the 6 single crochets. Pull your this loose end and make it a circle here. Here it is. You're going to form a circle here, and now insert your hook into this first stitch. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So here it is. This is my first stitch. I'm just going to insert my hook into my this first stitch, and here we're going to work in a spiral way now. So here just grab your yarn, and for round number 2 here I'm going to have 1 single crochet, and we're going to work in a spiral way. So I'm not going to have any slip stitches or any chain ones. I will directly start my 1 single crochet for my round number 2. So here it is. Just grab your yarn from your this first stitch, have your 2 loops on your hook, yarn over and spool your yarn through both the loops, and this is your first single crochet of your round number 2. And now you can put your this stitch marker here and insert your hook again into that same stitch, into this first stitch of your round number 1, and grab your yarn and have your second single crochet here like this. And now go to this next stitch and have 2 single crochets into this next stitch. Again, go to this next stitch and have 2 single crochets, and now keep on having 2 single crochets into each stitch from your previous round. And by the end of this round, round number 2, we're going to have our 12 single crochets, and here it is. That's 10, and that's 11 and 12. So we got about 12 single crochets for our round number 2. Now I'm going to take out my this stitch marker, and I will insert my hook into my this first stitch of my round number 2, and we'll grab the yarn and we'll make 1 single crochet, and this is my first single crochet of my round number 3. And put your this stitch marker back on, and remember to have your stitch marker on every first stitch of your every round. And this is the first stitch of your round number 3. We will go to the second stitch, and here we're going to have 2 single crochets into that 1 stitch. So it's 1 and 2. Again, into the next one we're going to have 1 single crochet, and into the next stitch we're going to have 2 single crochets into that 1 stitch. Now keep on repeating this pattern. So keep on having 1 single crochets and then 2 single crochets, 1 single crochet and then 2 single crochets, and by the end of this round, round number 3, we're going to have our 18 single crochets, and I'm going to meet you at the end. And here it is. After my round number 3, I have my this 18 stitches, and now I'm going to take out my this stitch marker, and for my round number 4, I will insert my hook into my this first stitch of my round number 3 directly, and we'll grab the yarn and we'll make my first single crochet here for my round number 4. And here for the first 2 stitches, we're going to have 1 single crochet into each stitch. So just have your stitch marker here and have 1 single crochet here. Go to this next stitch and have 1 single crochet here. And into this third stitch, we're going to have 2 single crochets into that 1 stitch. So it's 1 and 2. Again, next 2 stitches, we're going to have 1 single crochet into each stitch. So it's 1 and 1, and into this third stitch have 2 single crochets into that 1 stitch. And now keep on repeating this pattern. So keep on having your 1, 1 and then 2 single crochets, and I'm going to meet you after that. And by the end of this round, round number 4, we're going to have our 24 single crochets, and I'm going to meet you at the end. And here it is. After my round number 4, I've got my this 24 single crochets and it looks like this. And now for the round number 5, we're going to take out this stitch marker, insert your hook into this first stitch of your round number 4, grab your yarn and have 1 single crochet here. And this is your first single crochet of your round number 5. And here, for the first 3 stitches, we're going to have 1 single crochet into each stitch. So this is our first stitch. Go to this next stitch, grab your yarn and have 1 single crochet, and go to this next stitch, grab your yarn and have 1 single crochet. So for the first 3 stitches, have 1 single crochet into each stitch, and into this 4th stitch, have 2 single crochets into that 1 stitch. So it's 1 and 2. Again, next 3 stitches, we're going to have 1 single crochet into each stitch. So it's 1, 1 and 1. And into this 4th stitch, we're going to have 2 single crochets into each stitch. And now keep on repeating this pattern, and by the end of this round, round number 5, we're going to have our 30 single crochets, and I'm going to meet you after that. And here it is. After my round number 5, I have my 30 single crochets. And now for your round number 6, here, take out the stitch marker, insert your hook into this first stitch of your round number 5, and grab your yarn and have your 1 single crochet. This is your first single crochet of your round number 6. And now for round number 6, we're not going to have any increase, so we're going to have 1 single crochet into each stitch. So keep on having 1 single crochet into each stitch, and by the end of this round, round number 6, we're going to have our 30 single crochets, 1 single crochet into each stitch, and I'm going to meet you at the end of this round, round number 6, with my 30 single crochets. And here it is. After my round number 6, I got my this 30 single crochets, and now here this is my last stitch. So just have your this last stitch, and here I'm just gonna cut my yarn. So cut a little tail here and just secure your this last stitch like this. And now we're gonna take out our this stitch marker. This is your first stitch of your round number 6. We're gonna need a needle here. So just have a needle and have your this yarn here. Here we're going to make a slip stitch, but for this slip stitch we will not go directly into this next stitch. Here it is. This is the stitch. This is my last work stitch. I've worked on this stitch. We are going to skip over this next stitch. So skip your this next stitch and into the stitch after that, insert your needle like this and grab your needle. Just pull your yarn a little bit tight, and now this is your last worked stitch. This is the one. So just insert your needle in between these 2 loops here and take your needle at the back. Here like this. And nicely secure your this last stitch. Now if you will count here, you will have exact 30 stitches here, and it's really important because we're going to work on this edges later on. So it's really important to have an exact number of stitches here, and that's why we have done this one. So whenever you're cutting your yarn, just make sure that you're stitching your last stitch, your slip stitch like this, and this is done. Now you can have this loose end at the back and just hide them in and make exactly the same of your this second part. Remember, while making the second part, we are not going to cut the yarn, so just leave the yarn as it is, and I'm going to meet you after my second part of this exact same part. So just have your 6 rounds, and you're going to have your 30 stitches, and I'm going to meet you after the second round of this exact same piece of work. So here it is. I've got this second part as well, and now I'm going to take out this stitch marker. And here I'm going to just insert my hook into this first stitch, and we'll grab the yarn and we'll make a slip stitch here, and I will chain up 9 here. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Here it is. So just chain up 9 here. This is the front part, and take this second part here, and this is the back part. So just insert your hook into any of your hook and take the back loop like this. So you can call it a front loop or a back loop. I'm just going to call this as a back loop because this is the front part. Just remember that you're leaving this front loop behind. You're just taking this back loop, and here grab your yarn, attach your hook at any of your stitch, and just grab your yarn and have 1 slip stitch here like this. Just make sure that your work is straight enough I know it has a tendency to move, so just don't worry about this, and it should be like this. So have your this slip stitch and then chain one. So here it is. We got over this one slip stitch and chain one. We're going to skip over this two stitches, one and two. We're going to skip over this two stitches and we will go to this third stitch. So here it is. That's one and two. We're going to skip over this chain one and the slip stitch and we will go to this third stitch and insert your hook into this third stitch. And here we're going to have one single crochet, and now keep on having one single crochet into each chain. So by the end of this chains, you're going to have your 8 single crochets. So just keep on having 8 single crochets, and I'm going to meet you after that. So it's 1, 2 and 3, and have another 5 single crochets here. So it's 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8 here, just like this. Remember, I'm not going to work on this last chain, so just skip your this last chain and I will go to next stitch. So this is the stitch we have already worked on. This stitch is already taken, so we will go to this next stitch, and here again we're going to have our this back loop of your this next stitch. So just have the back loop of this next stitch and grab your yarn and make a slip stitch here. Here it is, like this. And again we're going to repeat our pattern. So chain one here, and we're going to skip over this 2 stitches, 1 and 2. So this is our chain 1 and this is our slip stitch. We're going to skip over this 2 stitches and we will go to this third stitch. And here for this third stitch, we're going to take the back loop of this third stitch. So just take the back loop. Do not insert your hook like this. Just take the back loop of your this first stitch, and now keep on having one single crochet into each stitch. And by the end of this row, you're going to have your 8 single crochets here. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. Now each row will have 8 single crochets, and our all single crochets will be back loop only. So we're going to repeat our this row all the way around on this project. So here it is. We got over this 8 single crochets for our second row, and now we will go to this next stitch. So this stitch is already taken. We already worked on this stitch. So go to this next stitch, take the back loop here again. So insert your hook into this back loop, grab your yarn and have one slip stitch here, chain one. Now we're going to skip over this 2 stitches. So it's chain one and slip stitch. We're going to skip over this next 2 stitches. Sorry, this 2 stitches, previous 2 stitches, and we will go to this third stitch and insert your hook into this stitch, take the back loop and keep on having one single crochet into each stitch, and you're going to have 8 single crochets, all back loop only, and we will reach to the first part of this work here. Here it is. I've got my this 8 single crochets, all back loop only, and this is the one. This stitch is already taken. We have already worked on this stitch. So this is our next stitch. We will go to this next stitch and we will take this back loop of this next stitch and we will insert our hook from the back and we'll grab the yarn and we'll make a slip stitch here. So this is our slip stitch, chain one. We're going to skip again this 2 stitches. So this chain one and slip stitch, we're going to skip over this 2 stitches and we will go to this third stitch directly and take the back loop and have single crochet, back loop only, all the way on this row and till the end, and by the end you're going to have your 8 single crochets, all back loop only. And now keep on repeating this pattern all the way around on this 2 circles what we have made here. So here it is, and 8. This is my 8th single crochet, back loop only, and I'm gonna take this back loop of the second part, and here it is. Now keep on having your this stitches all the way around, and I will not work on this last 4 stitches. So while you are working on this stitches all the way around, I'm gonna skip my last 4 stitches, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So I'm gonna work until here as well, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So I'm gonna work until here, and you're gonna have exact number of rows here on this both the circles. So here I've left this 4 stitches, 1, 2, 3 and 4. This one is already taken. So here I've left the 4 stitches, and at the back as well I've left 4 stitches. So you are going to work on this. So just keep on having your this stitches, your back loop, only single crochets, and I'm going to meet you somewhere here, leaving my this 4 stitches behind. If you want, you can leave more stitches as well. So if you think that this area is not enough, you want some broader area here, you can always leave your 6 stitches or 5 stitches. I'm going to leave this 4 stitches in the middle on both the sides, but if you think you can leave 5 stitches, 6 stitches, is totally up to you. So just have your number of rows in here, and I'm going to meet you at the end here. And here it is all done. Here I've got my this 4 stitches, and here I've got my this 4 stitches. So here it is. I'm gonna leave this 4 stitches and I'm gonna cut my yarn. So now here I've made my this last slip stitch, and here just got a little longer tail here because we are gonna attach our this flap to this part as well. So just leave a little longer tail here, and I guess it's gonna be all right. So here, and I'm gonna secure my this last stitch, and here it is. Now for this flap, here I'm gonna start with a different color. So I'm gonna take this white color because I'm gonna start in the middle from here. So for that one, you're gonna need a slip knot here. So just start with the slip knot, and here we're gonna chain up 13. 1, 3. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. So have your 13 chains, and now I'm gonna turn my this chains, and here it is. This is the back part of my chains, and now I will skip my this first chain. So this is the back part of my first chain. I'm gonna skip my this first chain, and I will go to this second chain, and I will insert my hook into my this second chain, and from here I'm gonna have 1 single crochet into each chain. Remember, I'm taking the back parts of my this chain. Now keep on having 1 single crochet into each chain, and by the end of this chain, so you're gonna have your 12 single crochets. 1, 2, and I'm gonna meet you after that. 1 single crochet into each chain, and here it is. I've got my this 12 single crochets, and now into my this last chain, I've already got my this 12th, my last single crochet. I'm gonna add another 2 single crochets into my this last chain. So here, after this 12th single crochet, just insert your hook into this chain for 1 more time, and have your 13th single crochet, and insert your hook again into that same chain, and have another single crochet, and here we're gonna add another 2 single crochets. So that's your 14th single crochet. And now we're gonna turn to this other side of this chains, and here we're gonna have 1 single crochet into each chain. So here it is. This is your last chain. This is already taken. We're gonna go to this chain here. So go to this chain here. I'm just gonna hide my this end inside, and just grab a yarn, and now keep on having 1 single crochet on each chain on this other side as well. And by the end of this chains, you're gonna have your another 11 single crochets here. So on this other side, you're gonna have 1 single crochet into each chain, and by the end on here, you're gonna have your another 11 single crochets. In total, you're gonna have your 25 single crochets. So keep on having 1 single crochet into each chain here, and I'm gonna meet you at the end here. Here it is. I've got my this another 11 single crochets here. In total, I have 25 single crochets. And now, as we have our last single crochet here, what I'm going to do here is, I'm not going to finish my this last stitch. So we'll just have this 2 loops here, because we're going to change the color of our this yarn, and here we're going to attach our this next color. So here I'm going to use the same color, my mustard color, and here I will attach my this yarn here like this. Here it is, and have chain 1. So this is how you're going to finish your last stitch, your 25th stitch for your this first round, and you're going to attach your this next color, the second color, with your work here like this, and have chain 1 here, and now turn your work. And now here for the first 11 stitches, have 1 single crochet into each stitch. So for that one, just gonna hide my this end in here. So this is your chain 1, this is your chain 1, this is your first stitch. So just go to this first stitch, turn your work, chain 1, and turn your work, and insert your hook into this first stitch and have this one single crochet. Go to this next stitch and grab a yarn and have one single crochet in here. First 11 stitches have one single crochet into each stitch, and I'm gonna meet you after that. And here it is. I've got my this 11 single crochets here. So first 11 stitches, one single crochet into each stitch, and we are here on this curve. Now here, next 3 stitches, we're gonna have 2 single crochets into each stitch for next 3 stitches. So here it is. We got over this next stitch. Insert your hook into this next stitch, grab a yarn and have one single crochet here. Go to this next stitch and grab a yarn and have your second single crochet here. Now go to this next stitch and here have 2 single crochets. So it's 1 and 2. And now go to this next stitch, your third stitch, and insert your hook and have another 2 single crochets here. So it's 1 and 2. 2 single crochets into that same stitch, and here it is. It looks like this. And now remaining 11 stitches, we're going to have 1 single crochet into each stitch. So keep on having 1 single crochet into each stitch, and you're going to have another 11 stitches here. And in total for this round, second round, you're going to have your 28 single crochets. So keep on having 1 single crochet into each stitch, and I'm going to meet you at the end. And here it is. Now for round number 3, chain 1 and turn your work, and now keep on having 1 single crochet into each stitch from your previous round, and here for the first 11 stitches. So for the first 11 stitches, have 1 single crochet into each stitch. So it's 1, 2, 3 and 11. So here first 11 stitches have 1 single crochet into each stitch, and now for next 6 stitches we are going to make our increase here. So here next stitch, you're going to have 1 single crochet into that 1 stitch. Here it is. Now for the next one, we're going to have 2 single crochets into that 1 stitch. So it's 1 and 2. Again, next stitch, we're going to have 1 single crochet into this 1 stitch, and into this next stitch, we're going to have 2 single crochets. So it's 1 and 2. And again here, for the first stitch, we're going to have 1 single crochet into this 1 stitch, and into this next stitch we're going to have 2 single crochets. In total we're going to increase our stitches with our 9 stitches in here. And now for the remaining 11 stitches, we're going to have 1 single crochet into each stitch, and by the end of this round, round number 3, you're going to have your 31 single crochets. In total you're going to have 31 single crochets, and I'm going to meet you at the end. Here it is. Got my this 31 stitches, and now just gonna cut my this yarn. Sorry, I forgot to cut this yarn. I'm just gonna leave this yarn like this, and here we're gonna attach our yarn. So for this last stitch, I'm just gonna take out this stitch, insert my hook into my this 2 loops here. This is my last stitch because we're gonna attach our color here, and that's why just have this first color, and here it is like this. And now chain 1, and now turn your work, and here first 11 stitches have 1 single crochet into each stitch. So this is your first stitch. Insert your hook, grab a yarn and have 1 single crochet here. Keep on having 1 single crochet into each stitch for this first 11 stitches, and I'm going to meet you here. We are here. So here we got over this 11 stitches, and now for this next stitch, insert your hook and have 1 single crochet here. For next stitch, we're going to have 2 single crochets into that 1 stitch. So it's 1 and 2. Again, into over this next stitch, we're going to have 1 single crochet. Into this next stitch, we're going to have 1 single crochet. And into this next stitch, we're going to have 2 single crochets. So it's 1 and 2. Again, next 2 stitches, we're going to have 1 single crochet into each stitch. So it's 1 and 1. And into this next stitch, we're going to have 2 single crochets into that 1 stitch, 1 and 1. And here into this last stitch of our this curve, we're going to have 1 single crochet. And here it is. We got our 12 single crochets here on this curve after our this 11 single crochets. And now for the next 11 stitches, we're going to have 1 single crochet into each stitch, and I'm going to meet you after that. And here it is. We got our this 34 single crochets on our this round, and for our next round, I'm just going to cut my yarn from here because we're going to attach our next color here. So for that one, I'm just going to take out this last stitch, have your this 2 loops here, and simply attach your this second color here. Here it is, chain 1, and now turn your work, and here first 11 stitches have 1 single crochet into each stitch, and I'm gonna meet you after that. And here it is, for first 11 stitches I have 1 single crochet into each stitch, and here on this 12 stitches on this curve we're going to increase our stitches here. So for that one, for first 2 stitches we're going to have 1 single crochet into each stitch, so it's 1 and 1, and now into over this next stitch have 2 single crochets into that 1 stitch, so it's 1 and 2. Again, next 2 stitches have 1 single crochet into each stitch, so it's 1, 1, and into this next stitch we're going to have 1 single crochet. So next 3 stitches have 1 single crochet into each stitch, and into this next stitch we're going to have 2 single crochets into that 1 stitch, 1 and 1. Again, next 3 stitches we're going to have 1 single crochet into each stitch, so it's 1, 2 and 3, and here into this next stitch we're going to have 2 single crochets into that 1 stitch. Here it is, and into this last stitch we're going to have 1 single crochet into this 1 stitch. So here it is, on this 12 stitches we have increased our stitches to 15, and here it is. And now for the remaining 11 stitches we're going to have 1 single crochet into each stitch. Here it is, our flap is ready, and now we're going to cut our yarn, and we're going to insert our this loose ends in, and I'm going to meet you after that. So just put all of this loose ends in, and I'm going to meet you after that. Here we go, our flap is ready, and you can use either side here and just attach your this flap like this. But here if you can see, this circle and this circle are coming up together here like this, because we got our 6 rows here, and here we got our 5 rows, so it's gonna be attached like this. So our this middle parts are gonna come together. So here we are just gonna attach our this fasteners like this here. So I'm just gonna attach my this fasteners before attaching my this flap. So just keep, so that it's just gonna be, you know, easier. So just attach your this fasteners here, and I'm gonna meet you after that. To attach my this fasteners I'm gonna use a normal thread. So it's totally up to you, whichever thread you want to use. I'm just gonna use this normal thread, and I'm gonna meet you after that. And here it is, I've attached my this buttons or snipers here. It's here like this, it's ready. And now we just have to attach our this flap, this part here. Now have a needle and simply attach. Now while attaching, this might be a bigger than your this 4 stitches, but don't worry about that. You're just gonna take a little bit part from here and a little bit part from here as well. So here we're gonna attach our this flap like this. So here, this is my last stitch, and I will simply attach it from here. Here it is. And now keep on attaching your this 2 parts together here like this, and I'm gonna meet you after that. Here it is, and now I'm just gonna make a little knot here, and we'll hide my this end in. And here it is, our flap is nicely attached, and here simply you can close your this little pouch like this, and it looks like this in here. Here it is, and you can simply open up it like this here. And I hope you have liked my today's tutorial. If you have liked, please like, share and comment on my videos, and please subscribe to my channel, and I will see you into the next video. Till then, bye.